Hello. Um, my name's Levi, and this is, you probably read the title. This is my mod showcase of a mod that I made, because it's got some things that are kind of hard to understand. Like, there's a couple of recipes and certain aspects. That doesn't matter. Let's just get on with it. So the first aspect is obtaining the uranium in the first place. The raw uranium. In order to obtain this, in your world, there's a small chance every second for a meteor to fall from the sky. So if I can use commands to force summon one real quick. Usually this would probably be once every 1 or 2 days, Minecraft days. But I'm gonna force summon one real quick so we don't have to wait for it. It comes down and it creates an explosion. Now if you get lucky whenever one of these fall, then it'll actually spawn a special ore. It happens to be right here, the raw uranium ore. To mine this, you need a diamond pickaxe, it's affected by fortune. You'll get a raw uranium for that. From there, you can craft that into uranium 235. You can't do anything else with the raw uranium other than turning it into a block. But with uranium 235, you can turn it into a block of uranium 235 right here. But one aspect of it is that whenever you have uranium 235 raw uranium or the block variants in your inventory, your radiation level, which is a hidden variable, will slowly rise. Once it's above a certain threshold, you'll begin taking damage and it's almost certain death. And the blocks amplify this effect. However, there is a hazmat suit that you can obtain. Throughout the world, there's a new ore called lead ore, which gives you lead, and if you combine that with leather armor pieces, then you can get a hazmat suit. Once you have all of your pieces of your hazmat suit on, then not only do you look very, very fat, but now your radiation cannot affect you. You can carry around your uranium, however you need to. And the next piece of the mod, will be what I'm gonna talk about, the asteroid destroyer. This is a quality of life item with some lead, some tritium, which I'll get to later, and some dragon's breath. As long as it's in your inventory, the meteors will not fall from the sky, so your builds and stuff don't get destroyed. Um, Reactors and enrichers, those are for later. The next step, before we get on with nuclear weapons, I want to get through the smaller stuff. For example, the RPG, the grenade, and the carpet bombs. The grenade can be crafted with some gunpowder, iron ingot, and lever like so. And upon obtained, you can throw it. And it's a classic grenade. With RPGs, you can craft one of these with some iron blocks, wood, and iron ingot. And for the ammo, the rocket propelled grenades, you can craft some green dye, iron, and TNT. And then shoot it, and it's slightly bigger than TNT explosion, and it goes really quickly. The next aspect is the carpet bombs. This is the weakest like bombing tool there is in the mod, other than these three. The carpet bomb requires some iron, TNT, and redstone, and then here's the radio to call it in. And then once you have your items, you'll notice that whenever you try to call it in, you need 10 bombs. So if you craft 9 more carpet bombs, which is why they're kind of cheap to get, you get an achievement called quantity over quality. You call it in, you use the carpet bombs, and they come in as boom. And actually, oh, never mind, I didn't, never mind. But that's the weakest tool. Now, the next tier is the atom bomb, the first nuclear weapon. So to get this, you need TNT lining and a demon core. To get TNT lining, you need a whole lot of iron and TNT. And for a demon core, you need uranium 235 and iron. And I coded in a little Easter egg with the demon core. As you can see, don't trip. That's for a good reason, because I'm going to turn on keep inventory. Go into survival mode, and if I happen to fall any distance at all, like just jumping, yeah, sorry for your hearing. Sorry about that. Probably should have given you a headphone warning. But, yeah, sorry about that. So, after you get that, you can craft yourself an atom bomb. And with the atom bomb, you get an achievement for obtaining one of these. Oh, wait, I forgot to say you also get an achievement for obtaining uranium. But, once you have your atom bomb, you can then, it cannot be lit with a flint and steel, only with redstone. And it has an instant, it ignites instantly. You don't get any time to run away. So the best method to use it is to line redstone back, like really far away. It's not far enough, but I'm not gonna spend my time doing, like, placing a lot of redstone. And once you activate it, it's not reaching. Once you activate it, like this, it has a bit of lag, and then you will get your mushroom cloud effect. And a huge explosion. But these cannot be dropped. They are stationary bombs. The missiles, which I'll get to later, can be dropped and will create explosions. But this particle, the mushroom cloud, lasts for a minute after the explosion. It's a bit weird right now. I plan to fix that in the future. But yeah, you have to look at that for a bit. So then the next thing you do with the obtaining atom bomb is create a reactor, which is a demon core and some blocks of iron. With the reactor, you get a new crafting UI. And if you grab a piece of uranium-35 and a netherite scrap, then you can make some tritium. Remember this from earlier? This is the key component to making the next tier of bombs, thermonuclear bombs. And so once you've got your tritium, you can craft with 2 iron blocks, 2 gold blocks, 4 tritium, and an atom bomb, a thermonuclear bomb, which is a much stronger version than compared to the nuclear bomb. And you get a challenge achievement for obtaining one of these, because usually it takes a long time to get all the uranium necessary for one of them. But once you find your spot that you want to erase, you power it inside of it, and then you get a much bigger explosion compared to the nuclear bomb that detonated over there. And of course you get your iconic mushroom cloud shape. And you can see the explosion is a lot bigger and goes a lot deeper. I believe, I've tested this out, I believe it's around, if you use around 2 or 3 thermonuclear bombs, you can reach bedrock, depending on your height. But then, those are just the regular bombs. Now, we're moving on to the missiles. There's 3 missiles: the intercontinental ballistic missile, nuclear, well, that's thermonuclear, nuclear, and thermonuclear. Each of these, similar to the carpet bomb, have their own radios to activate, which have their own recipes. First, the weakest tier, the ICBM and its radio. Well, wait. Which radio is it? This radio. To craft one, you need a lot of TNT lining from earlier to end crystal. No nuclear power required. And the radio, which is that. So, after you've got your stuff, of course, it's survival mode, and if you drop bombs and all this, it will be taken from your inventory. It does not happen in creative mode. Just wanted to clarify that. But this will not go where you aim, it'll go above you. So the intent is to grab an elytra, and using some fireworks, you can fly over your target, like the target area. So I got some fireworks, calling the bomb, and then firework rocket out of there so you don't get hit. And that's a relatively small one. I don't know why I'm lagging. But this is the radius. Let's go to the airport to see the radius of the thing. Yeah, this is the ICBM explosion radius. It's decently big. It's not as big as the nuke, but it'll do. I'm gonna set the time back to noon real quick so it's easier to see. And game rule. Okay. Now, the next tier of missile is the nuclear missile. and you get... Wait, that's thermonuclear. Sorry. I get this confused a lot. But the nuclear missile. For the thermonuclear one, you get an achievement, as you saw. But we'll get to that in a bit. The same concept with this. You use your radio. It drops the missile. Takes a bit for the lag. And you get an explosion. I believe this is slightly bigger than the atom bomb, which is unintentional. It's meant to be the same size. But I guess I did something wrong. But it's not as big as the thermonuclear one. So, yeah. It's probably worth it to have a slightly bigger explosion anyway. But you can destroy someone's, like, medium-sized base with that. And then, you can get your thermonuclear missile, which is your final tier of missile, call it in. And it takes a while for this one for the lag to subside. Boom. This explosion, of course, like the thermonuclear bomb, is very huge. This will wipe out whoever gets caught in it. I've tested these before, and the smallest missile, the ICBM, does one-shot the Ender Dragon. So you gotta be mindful of that. Seems a bit unbalanced, but you do need lots of iron and TNT and an end crystal for it. And then the radio, which is not that hard to get, actually. But, still. These things are extremely powerful. So the next topic is the Enricher. I believe this is the final piece of the mod. Yes. With the Enricher, what the Enricher does is when you get one of these, I'm playing on a version that the recipe for the Enricher isn't on yet. The latest version that will be up on my mod is version 2.1, which will have the recipe for this. Usually it's some redstone, 3 uranium-235, iron block, and 3 netherite ingots to create one of these, and you get this big UI. So what you do is you get 2 trinium from your reactor from earlier, a uranium-235, and then 2 diamonds and 2 redstone blocks. Put your tritium in here, diamonds, redstone, and your uranium-235 up here, and you can duplicate uranium. And this will cost your redstone and diamonds, but you get to keep your tritium and uranium-235. You just need to have these items in order to start duplicating, plus the enricher. And then the final topic is the achievement system, which once you get an asteroid destroyer, you get an achievement, meteor repellent, and just make sure I don't miss any. Everything. Yep, these are all the achievements. You get one for full hazmat suit. This one, the base achievement, is from acquiring a piece of raw uranium. Acquire 10 carpet bombs for this one. Acquire an asteroid destroyer for meteor repellent. Gear it up, get a full hazmat suit. Craft the extremely unstable demon core for don't trip. Acquire a nuclear bomb for this one. Acquire thermonuclear bomb for this one, and then the thermonuclear missile for the final thing. So now, what the heck? Oh, okay. But now, that's basically my entire mod. So, that's it for the showcase. Bye-bye.